In my long and tragic history of dining misadventures, few experiences have wounded my spirit quite like my encounter with the so-called impact food group. The only impact I detected was that of projectile vomiting among those unfortunate enough to consume this abomination. One dish, under the generous term falafel, presented itself as though conceived during an intergalactic misunderstanding between a cement mixer and a compost heap. These misshapen spheres, greenish, vile, and texturally reminiscent of something unearthed rather than prepared, seemed to have given up on being edible halfway through their existence. Each bite was a study in culinary nihilism. If the impact food group excels at anything, it is in their uncanny ability to inspire awe at how something ostensibly plant-based could so thoroughly betray the concept of flavor. If their mission was to redefine what constitutes food, they have succeeded with catastrophic brilliance. Here, culinary incompetence is not merely tolerated but lovingly nurtured. The falafel was a doughy disgrace, suggesting that the chef's grasp of even the most elementary principles of cookery is both theoretical and tragically flawed. One wonders if they have ever truly encountered basic cookery apparatus. Elsewhere among their selections, the same dismal, less than mediocre standard holds. Frigid relics, reminiscent of something one might find in an archaeological dig, are presented to unsuspecting victims for the modest sum of 2.30 pounds. Through the use of propaganda, these charlatans not only present themselves as chefs whose cognitive resources appear not to be on indefinite strike, but also to give the claim that these mystical archaeological discoveries are chips. Each bite serves as a chilling reminder that inflation has reached even the frontiers of gastronomic malpractice. The texture of these creations closely resembles geological formations than anything intended for human consumption. The savories, meanwhile, suggest a kind of divine confusion. One suspects the caterer mistook the deep fryer for a baptismal font and anointed the pastry. One particular piece of slop contained a lump of lard so offensively large it could have been assigned its own postcode. It takes a particular genius to bake something that tastes both burnt and raw simultaneously, and yet, somehow, they have achieved it. Even their attempts at poultry are not spared the fiasco. The slickness of this anatomical misadventure, masquerading as chicken, defies logic and texture alike. I regret to say that it has agility of a greased eel. It is also perfumed with what could only be described as a biohazard warning, and consuming it feels less like nourishment and more like gambling, not merely with digestion, but with the very concept of life and death. One begins to suspect that the impact food group's understanding of nutrition operates under its very own philosophy, that food exists chiefly as a means of population control. Until such divine justice is served upon this benighted kitchen, we remain their test subjects in a grand experiment of digestive endurance. In conclusion, dining on this was not merely unpleasant, it was transformative. I emerged from the experience a humbler, sadder human, acutely aware that not all who cook should.